So, hello. This is Class 2, JavaScript 1, and the course class pupils number 8. So I was pleasantly surprised about the homework that I got. That was super good. Yeah? In the beginning, I went through you, like one by one, and I typed in. I created a little file for all of you, and then took the file name of your homework part, and then most of the time I just type in nice job, nice job, nice job. And in the end, I was like, okay, I'm going to say overall nice job, and I'm only going to give you some hints where you did something wrong. So if you just got a little file, that's a good thing. Yeah. If you got a big file with a lot of nice jobs, you were like one of the first ones I corrected. Yeah. Good. Then, so you all got some feedback. And I want to show you like 4 little things. This is examples from you, like this one. Can someone tell me what I probably said I don't like here? Can someone tell me? Like not shout it out, but here? Yes.
Number maybe 2 string.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes. Can everyone see it?
It's a string. Yeah.
It's a string and not a number. Yeah. It works. Because JavaScript, if you multiply these two together, figures out that multiplication doesn't work with strings in this. But this is like something we don't like to see so well. So this is actually a mistake, but the JavaScript wouldn't say anything. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to Yeah, I'm not going to ask who this is, but like whatever. Yeah. What is this one? Yeah. Can someone tell me what is not so correct here?
What?
Is const.
Yeah.
Var?
Here? Yeah, that's
Yes,
that's good, but that's not the worst thing here. When you also have to have the exercise in head, what you had to do. Over there? Const? No, that's also okay.
Others inside.
This one? Yes.
What are these new line characters?
Something here is incorrect.
In new line characters, why are...
That's fine, that's just something... Yeah.
There is
But there's something weird here, right?
Should it
There's
plus
array
So
instead of
array.
comma.
Yeah. So what I'm saying here, he puts like a long array, a long string into an array. But we wanted an array of strings. Yeah. So this is creating a long string and putting it into an array. But yeah.
How many elements are in that array? One? Yeah, it's just one.
Yeah.
Because remember the class concatenates everything, so in the end it's just, even though it's separate things, if there's not a comma between them, it's just one more thing.
Yeah. And down here, then the next task was to add the baby line into the animals, yeah? And then the baby line is added as a string to it.
Okay.
But we wanted to add it into the array.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a misunderstanding here. That was a good example of how stuff can go wrong and I can't foresee them. I'm like, it's just funny when you are programming for such a long time. What is here? Oh yeah, this is an example where I'm actually like, I was super happy about this. Every line has a comment telling me what is happening. Yeah? I didn't have to switch my browser tab back to the actual homework to see what is asked. Yeah? I only needed this file, yeah, to understand what's going on. Yeah? What does she want to do? What is she doing? What does she want to do? What is she doing? Yeah? And when I read like code of a colleague, this is how it should look like. I shouldn't go somewhere else to find the information. It should be understandable like this. And I mean, this file could also be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Without the comments, everything put together, and it would be unreadable. Yeah? So this is a good example. So we don't want to blame, but who's here? Kiskiniatsa?
Same.
Little applause. Thank you very much. Then, and this one, I actually want to copy here. Replace this, and now we have this. This is class 8. Okay, so this should rather be understandable. Yeah? So better? So this is quite. Everyone understood this one who did this as a homework, yeah. I just and this is a nice solution. I just want to show how to make it a little bit more dry. What is dry? You remember what is dry? D-R-Y. Don't repeat yourself. Yeah. And there's like, where are we repeating ourselves here? Where's the repetition?
Through
Line what?
line 4 and line 4.
Oh yeah, there's one like repetition here, but that's not what I'm heading at. No? No? Like these two lines, 7 and 9, visually they look almost similar, right? The only difference is like this stuff here. Yeah? So I'm just going to show it to you how I would do that. I would create another human or dog, yeah, and I would put a human in there, right? And then show results in dog years. We're going to remove this because show results in dog years false. So we should, let's say, true, yeah. So if this is true, we should show the results in dog years, and we go now human or dog and make it dog, right? And then we can take all this guy down here outside of the if condition. We comment this away, and we can also do like dog year here again, dog year. And if this is true, we have to do dog year times 7, and here we can now plus a human or dog. I hope this works. We have to put a one here and one there. So let's have a look. So what I've changed here is I don't have an if and else anymore, yeah, and all the processing is done in this if and else, and the console log is completely outside. You see what happened?
Yes.
And suddenly I don't have this, your dog will be, and your dog will be twice. Yeah. And it's also a little bit cleaner. Yeah. What I would still, yes, no, that's how I would have done it. Yeah. You see how it got better? Any questions? Shall we run it and see if it actually works? Yeah.
In if statements, there is not bracket for next two statements. So is it going to take?
Oh yeah,
one or?
that's definitely a mistake here. I usually do always when I do if, I do the brackets.
Yeah.
I hate when there's like a rule, but you can do things.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that. Rule is rule. Yeah. So always do them, and then you're on the safe side. That's a tip for me. And yeah, and everyone. Yeah.
Why we are putting if?
Why if?
Because if you want to see is it a human years or is it a dog years?
Yeah, but there is no condition on that.
There is.
Anyway, it will.
This variable here is a condition itself.
Yeah, if we don't put it, doesn't. If we non-work console log.
Pardon? If
you don't put that true condition.
you mean if I remove this here?
Yes.
Yes.
All
Then
of them, yeah.
then should show results in dog years with be a variable.
I think he means that there is no operator in condition.
I mean, there is no else. I mean, there is only one condition.
Exactly, but my else is sort of up here.
You can have a condition that doesn't have a side effect, such as if whatever, do this. And you don't care about the else or anything. Just if this condition is met, do the following. But if that condition is not met, then you just skip it. You go from here. If this follows, then go right to here. And don't update these variables. Keep the variables that you have.
So ignore the line if it is not working like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if this is false, 6 to 9 will just not be executed.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And so I have a sort of else up here. You know what I mean? I could also put an else and put this one in here. Let's show that. I could also do like this. Then I also had a let here. That would be the same, right? You see?
I missed.
Okay, so now I put this variable down here. So so now it's sort of the same.
No, I got it.
Is it okay to have the leg here in the two places?
Yeah,
right.
because it's in the
So it will either execute one leg or the other one,
Yes.
but never both, right? Because it's if this condition is met, and if not, then the other.
Yeah, a little bit more beautiful could also be like this. So we just initialize it, and then we do like this. So, yeah.
If should result in dog years,
Yes.
I don't understand that line.
That's just a long array.
I know that's a variable, right?
Yes.
Up there, which is true.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, but he said if that, for me it looks like it's hanging. If what?
If it is true, by
Yeah,
default.
If it by default.
Yes.
Yes.
So we could also, someone asked that, we can also do like, if this is true, yeah? But this expression here will be evaluated into true.
But what if you make equals?
Equal, what do you mean?
Triple equals
Double.
double.
Oh, it's the
It
same.
will still compare the value
Yes.
and the type, right? And the type of that variable is a boolean because it's a true value, and the value is true.
Yes.
So triple equals, it will say yes, it is equal, and true equals, which only checks for value, will say yes as well.
So if you use double equal, doesn't it make it right? Is it not correct?
It's always correct. It's always true right now.
Yeah, this will always be true, but you should always use triple equals. Remember that.
Yes.
Listen, let me get it clear. What if I change the first one to false,
Okay,
and then this one has double equal? What would be the result?
so we will compare the false and true values.
Yes.
So they are not the same.
Okay.
So we will not fall into this block of code. Is this condition met? No. Then we follow into the
Yeah, that's
else.
what I was. So that when you write it that way, it works as well.
Yeah.
Right? With double.
Yeah, it works as well.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to add is should show result in dog years, the variable right now, it's always type boolean. Yeah. Like a boolean is true or false. Yeah. So if I do type of this guy, yeah, it will always be a boolean. Yeah. So if the type of this guy is always a boolean, then double equals and triple equals is the same thing because the type of is always the same. Yeah. And that's only the difference between them. Yeah. But always use a triple.
Yeah,
Equal.
don't be confused with the two and triple equals. Always use the triple. That's the one that you want.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
As the should show result gives is false now, so if you use if without the operator,
Yes.
so
Like-
if you do true and
And, yes.
and does it
This one.
work now, or is going to else because
Is-
now what is it checking now?
What do you think happens?
It will,
I think it should go to else now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because
That's
remember,
correct,
the
yeah.
condition, it's always a true or false. So if we compare to a true value or a false value, or if the value of a variable is true or false, the condition only wants to know, is that true? Then I will go into this. Otherwise, I won't. And I guess this is so if we didn't have that variable at all, can you comment that,
Comment it away.
or just don't set the value to false? Yeah, just declare it. What is the value of that variable now? Undefined. And undefined is a falsy value.
Yeah.
So if it's not true, it will go into the other one. Even if we don't set strictly the value to false, undefined counts as false. So we don't set it. And it goes to the else statement.
Yes. Other questions here? Good. And you also understood that don't repeat yourself, that we only have one console log now, and everything is good. I can also post this into Slack, if that would help. Can I remove all this here?
But overall, homeworks were really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
And then the next thing. Oh, I got some messages tonight. Oh. Here you go. This is posted. Then let's go to JavaScript week 2.
Before we do that, was there any questions about the homework? Is there something that you would like to solve together, or did you feel it was very difficult? Was it very time consuming? No? It was good?
Okay, yeah. So, so this is like last time I did this class, I came here on the second week and nobody had done their homework. And I was like, yeah, because it just, that won't work.
Yeah. This is a start point.
Yeah. And then so I'll say also some rough words now, because I want you to like understand this. Like we have 4 hours every weekend here, yeah. But we expect you to do 30 hours during the week. That's a lot, and that's a full time. Yeah. But also the homework this week wasn't so much. But what we just want you to do, to be aware that if you start your homework Saturday evening at 8 o'clock, yeah, it won't work. It won't work. Like I can tell you now, in a month, you will go to class 9 or drop out. That's how it is. Yeah. The next thing I want to say, this is a little bit like direct, but where do you think you will learn programming? In the 4 hours here, or in those cumbersome 10, 30 hours you do at home, where you're stuck and you figure it out and stuff like that? It's definitely in the last ones. We are just here to give you like an easy one in and like answer these questions you have during the week. Yeah? But like the learning really comes during the week. And if you ever gonna have a job, yeah, and I hope it for all of you, yeah, then you will also find yourself most of the time in those 30 hours, because you will be there and have to solve questions, and you will have to figure out them yourself. There's no teacher anymore. So this will also prepare you for your job.
Send you messages.
You can. So homework is very important, and also for us to see that you're evolving. If I come here every week and nobody does their homework, that demotivates me, and I'll rather be motivated here. Yes. So, just last week, we didn't talk about conditions, yeah. So we had a homework with conditions. There was like a little test where people like figure it out themselves and stuff like that, and you did good, yeah. So let's say a condition, as we already said, is we can have like a variable A, a variable B, then we compare A to 5, and we want triple equals here. And if A is 5, B is 2, and else B is 1, and else B is 2. So with this example, what is B?
True.
Very good.
And just, can you go back a slide?
Yes.
So we know, so we could put this condition out into a variable, right? We could create like let or const actually is A bigger than 5, and have the condition there, and then just sends the variable instead of having the condition there. So it works both ways. We have, in the end, what the if wants is a condition. It's a true or false. So we could have it like,
I think there's just new ones on the left.
so just like A bigger, and this name is really bad, but just an example. Or equals, or whatever, and equals 5, and then in the if, just have this variable, right? And it works the same way. So that condition that we put in the if can always be a variable that is extracted to something else. It's made to whatever makes more sense to you, but it's just so you know that it's just a condition, either in a variable or in here, like an inline condition, but it works the same way.
Everyone understood that?
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. So the next thing I want you to do is functions. Yeah? And functions is something you have to learn to do JavaScript. And a function is basically a good way to reuse code. Yeah? You can create a function, yeah? And then you have like this name for this function, and then you can call it over and over time. So do you already know a function which we've been using all the time?
Here?
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
People think? Here?
Is it it?
No. It has brackets with it.
We use math.round something.
For instance, yeah, that's a good example in the homework. But also one we've been using all the time.
Console.
Console log. Yeah. Console log, that's it's a function. Yeah? And we call it all the time. And in the background, the computer does something to give us the output. Yes. So how do we declare a function? This is a function. And in JavaScript, to create a function, we write function. Then we write like a function name, and this function name should be like descriptive, just like our variables should be descriptive. And this function does Celsius to Fahrenheit, and it converts like degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. And then we have Celsius, and this is then just a mathematical formula to convert into Fahrenheit. If we look a little bit more abstract to the function, then we have function, and then here's the function name, and then we have a parameter 1, and we can also have another parameter, and another parameter, and another parameter. Yeah? These parameters are now variables inside these brackets. Yeah? You see how this parameter here becomes a variable in here.
Yeah.
And then inside the function we can do whatever we want, but outside here, Fahrenheit is not available anymore. You understand that? Yeah, we'll see some examples. Yeah? And also in there we can use some comments. And the last thing a function needs is a return value. And then we write return, and then we give over a variable that it should be returned. We can also return an array, and then we can push out many more stuff out of the thing. Yeah. And then there was one thing I want to show you, because I think we haven't encountered it last week, and someone said, yeah. So I, let's say, let my array is equal to, oops, let's say dog and cat. Yes. So that's everything understood. Everyone understood that, yeah? We have an array with 2 strings in there, dog and cat. And would this one work if I do like this?
Yes.
Yes. Who thinks this is going to work? Who thinks there's a problem here?
There's the third one should be also. This is array.
Yeah.
For each, what can I say? It should be index. 0, 1. The other one should be 2. That's why it should be what's called it. Not one quote.
It should be a string as well. Is that what you're saying?
It should be
The string.
Wrapped with quotes.
Yes, it should be with quote.
Okay. So if I enter this, that's not the problem I wanted to see. But let's write another here, and it causes no problem. Yeah. So that's also something you can have mixed stuff in your array. It's not rather beautiful, and in other programming languages it's not allowed, but in JavaScript it works. Yeah. Just to show that to you, because someone in the homework said that isn't possible, but it is. Yeah. And sometimes it's useful. Yes.
Yes, the people that working on their languages don't like this because they usually have an array of only strings or only numbers. But JavaScript, as we told you before, is very permissive. And so it lets you do whatever you want, and will try to error the least. So if you want to create an array of string, number, it will say, that's fine. So, yeah. I like that, because I do like JavaScript. But there are many people that don't like that.
Yeah, but we'll also see some.
If we put the one command, we can write the boolean, right?
Yeah, exactly. You could put, string, number, boolean,
Yeah, I can show.
object,
This one
anything.
quote doesn't mean that only the one code is works for only strings, right? In array.
Yes, it's only
Yeah,
strings.
the meaning is string.
Whatever is in quotes.
I was thinking that one code you can type there boolean. It should be what can you say? Each index of the array is separated with the one code.
Right.
I was
So-
thinking so.
Yeah. So only for strings. The other
These
ones
are
is
strings.
yeah, that's for
Okay.
strings.
Yeah. Good.
If you write the type of dog means that the array 0 means string, array 1 string, and
Yeah. And then the third
third will be
number.
number.
As you said, that you like the way the JavaScript accepts different
Yeah.
types. Can you share any real-time example where we have multiple data types in one row?
Information of a student. It could be his roll number, name, his class, and age, and there are numbers and strings.
But that is kind of object when we
Yeah. Array. When
That's
we
not
have, we
array,
have
that's
to
kind
see
of
objects. Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
we will go into objects
yeah.
today,
Yeah.
so that's
And
a
that
good
we
But
point.
imagine that we were storing ages and we're allowing the number 19, and then you want to add another element to this array, and it's 18 in a string. For me, that's fine, right? Because as an age, to me, an age being a number, it's fine. And an age being a string, is also fine. And if I want to get because JavaScript lets you strings behave as numbers sometimes, if I want to add to this, JavaScript will let me. So I don't need to check if all of the elements in this age of strings, if this array of ages are a string, because this is also fine.
But imagine you have a function, yeah, and the function should return two values, a string and a number, and you don't want to create an object for that. You just push an array out of you return an array with string and number, real quick, without a lot of hassle, yeah. So that's very helpful sometimes, yeah. But just be aware that that's also, sometimes difficult, sometimes, yeah. But we will move on. It's also a philosophical question, yeah? So we don't want to get into that. We are here to program. So the next. So now, what I want you to do. Functions are a good way to repeat code. And you remember these little code snippets we had last week, like kilometers into centimeters, kilometer squares into least meter squares. Yeah. Can you create them into functions? Because then we can reuse them for the end of our lifetime. Yeah.
That's the biggest benefit of functions, reusability.
Exactly. So I'm going to go up here so you can see this. And what was it? It was... How was it called? My thing from last week. It was number exercises, right? Exactly. Let's remove this one. So here's how functions look like, and here's the 3, 4, and you should already have them as homework. So you basically just have to convert them into functions.
I think one key part that we're missing is how do you call a function? So how do you test, or are you going to go into that later?
Yeah, we can also do that real quick. So how do I, if I have this function, so now I have this function, yeah, yes?
You just put the function name, or if you're expecting a value back, then you can directly console it, or you can put it, call it with a reference of a variable something, so that you get the value back.
So let's get 28 degrees into Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And we can now say let
let
Fahrenheit.
height is equal to.
Oh, there's actually a typo here. I don't like that. So, and then we can do console log.
Equal.
And so before you run it, let's go slowly into what's happening here, right? So, do you think we can call this before writing the function?
No,
Which one? Like,
The line 7, no.
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 Okay.
No, right? Because we need to know what the function is before we call it. So we specify the function first, and then we go and we say, I'm going to call my Celsius to Fahrenheit function with the number 28. And then it will go into here. What is Celsius now? 28. And then creates a variable here, 28 times blah, 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 and it returns that, right? Yes.
We didn't put any data type for Celsius. Like, do we need it or don't?
You don't need it.
Okay.
I mean,
it's gonna
Yeah,
take
but-
anything like
Exactly.
because it's like
That's the
we
beauty.
expect it to be a number,
Yeah.
and we are not restricting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of JavaScript, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But let's try this.
wait, yeah,
In the function, it says return Fahrenheit,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
And why are we doing let Fahrenheit equals to Celsius to Fahrenheit again?
Yeah. I put that on purpose to confuse you and to get this question. But you see that these two brackets here, these like curly brackets here, they're sort of for themselves. Everything that happens in there is not connected to the outside world. Yeah. The only thing that's connected to the outside world is this one where we put something into the function, yeah, and this one where it comes out. Yeah. So imagine that a function just opens a new node and runs it there, and then we get the result back. Yeah? So this Fahrenheit in the outside world will never see this Fahrenheit in the inside. Okay? So that's why we can do that.
Let's make it global variable.
We don't want to talk about global variables now.
Another question, I don't know, we will come or not. Why every function's return is giving? If you don't give the return, for instance, it's calculating the Celsius, it's 28, as you get, it's 100, okay?
Yeah.
It's giving the Fahrenheit 100.
Yeah.
So variable is 100. Why they are putting another Fahrenheit return?
Like,
Yeah,
you mean
what
if
is the
if this
function
wouldn't be
of-
there?
Yeah, what?
If this would be there, Celsius, every time we call this one, we will get undefined.
But it is giving the numbers to the Fahrenheit 100.
But how does the function Celsius to Fahrenheit know to return Fahrenheit? We never told him.
Imagine that we do a bunch
But it's
of other,
processing something's inside.
that we create a lot of variables in there.
Okay.
How do you know what that function will return? If we have let Fahrenheit 2 and it's another number, and let Fahrenheit 3 and it's another number, will we return Fahrenheit 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah, I'm thinking simple. Sorry, I'm just asking. My thinking, okay, the Fahrenheit value is 100, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the down there is answer should be 100. And console log should give the 100.
Yeah.
So my thinking, because it is evaluating
Mm-hmm.
Fahrenheit is 100, console log Fahrenheit means 100, okay? And if you think the global, okay, I understood. It is the, what's called, reverse of global. Local. Local variable doesn't come out.
Yes, it doesn't come out.
Okay, if it is global, why it is not coming out?
But it's not global.
That's not global. That's
Okay, I
declared.
understood this.
But if
The
it were
previous
global,
lesson, I have studied that local variable and what's the global variable. So this question is coming to me, why we need again and return. Maybe I'm confused.
Yeah, but like what we want to do with a function often is that it always does the same. Yeah, and if we have a global variable the function has to take care of, then the function is dependent on something that's outside. But we don't want that. We just want to be the
Okay.
function for always do the same thing if we call it. Yeah, but if it's dependent of something someone else can change,
The
then
same
our function
variable
doesn't do
should
the
be-
same anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yes.
So you can just write console log Celsius to Fahrenheit into bracket 28.
Yes, we can
And
also
it will
put
print
this
the
one in
result.
here.
It will
Yes.
print the result.
We'll also do the same. Let's do that here. This will exactly do the same. Yeah. Oops. Wow. Getting. A little bit confused here.
It is not preferable to
Okay.
function global.
No. Functions should be.
Otherwise, the others also use the same code.
So let's do this again. So we're running this program, and this program says, aha, we have this function, we have this hammer we can always use, bam, 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 yeah. We have this hammer to calculate Celsius to Fahrenheit, yeah. But it's just lying in our shelf, yeah. We're not using it yet. Then we go in here, we want actually to have a Fahrenheit of 28, so we go to the shelf, get our function, our hammer this 28 in there, we get the Fahrenheit out, and then we have Fahrenheit, we console log that. But now we put our hammer back, and we go to console log again, we go to the hammer it in, and get the other console log, right? Shall we run that real quick? Yes. Okay?
Was it clear why we can have two variables named the same way in this file? Can you go to the file? Yeah?
Because one of them inside the function and only Celsius is the only Celsius input.
Right, so the outside world doesn't know that there's another variable that is called that way, right? And the world inside the function doesn't know that there's another variable that's called that way.
That means like everything in the function is isolated.
Exactly.
And we can change the name of it, which is outside.
Yes?
Yeah, you
We can just call it F here. That will still work. Yeah. Exactly the same. Understood? It's a very good point to make an example first. So now, can you do this for me? You should already have these here somewhere. And then, shall we just do the first two instead of all of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
In this example, there is only one variable in the function,
Yeah.
like Celsius.
Yeah.
What if you have something like you're doing 2x plus y? How are you going to separate the function with
Yeah.
commas or what?
So the parameters in here,
The parameters,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So you can have a comma and then the name of your other parameter.
It's actually
And
here.
that until how many you want or how many you need, more
So
precisely.
in that case, if you call the function outside and you give values, it will always put the first one into the first.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. And if you don't send in, like let's say we have a function with two parameters and you only send one, what is the other value going to be? Undefined, right? Because it's not said. My function was expecting another parameter and I didn't get it, then it's undefined. But
Okay.
Is it like it's going through an error or?
it depends on what you do with the function. But if you need it, and in the calculation, like let's say this was also a parameter,
Yeah.
then it will say I can't find
Okay.
I can't find
I
parameter
don't
2.
think so. If your prototype is accepting two variables, and if you send one variable at call time, it will not let you through. I don't think so.
It will let you.
Is it-
JavaScript does let you do that.
Yeah. It's the beauty of JavaScript.
Well, that's beauty. I think that's lacking.
Let's. I'll add another example here. Is write function. Let's go here. Function that takes two inputs, your names, your first and last name, and returns. Oops. That's also a good example, right? We're having two of them. Yeah. Everyone. Yeah.
So, do you want us to write these 2-3 functions?
Like these three functions. Yeah. And I just added a third one, which has two parameters. Your first and last name should go in there, and out should come a string where they are together.
Does that make sense? We can talk about the first one. Is write a function that converts x hours and y minutes into minutes. What are the what is that function going to take in as parameters?
That's going to take hours and maybe minutes as
And
well.
minutes.
We're also getting minutes, so there could be 2 parameters.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to. Yeah,
So I'm curious now. It's gonna work down. We're only 45 minutes. That's okay. Yeah, all three. I mean, the first, yeah, like all three. And you can like ask each other, help each other, raise your hand, ask questions. But I like the frowning faces. You already functionized everything in your homework, right? Yes. But trying to do it in Node, you don't want to be embarrassing.
No, you can only have one return per function.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Almost stepped on it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Can you send this on Slack?
This one or this one?
I guess one.
Everything?
Yeah. When you're creating a function, you're creating a function that's names, hours, and minutes, and it's taking in a variable that is called minutes, right? And what do we want to do inside the function? Yeah, so it turns hours to minutes. So let's make this a little bit more simple and have this be hours. Because we're going to take in hours. Let's say we want to take in 2 hours and we want
Yeah.
to turn minutes.
Like you want a function that takes hours in. That's true. Yeah, when you've done that.
And
And
then we're going to here.
no, the calculation should happen inside the function. But the calculation, 60 times, it should happen inside the function.
Here? It's more normal to not
So,
capitalize. But if that's what you're
You are calling a function here that you define up here. Yeah? You put in hours. Yeah? The hours is a variable inside the function, but here you overwrite it immediately. So I put in x.
I guess I should try hours.
No. So, like, let's look at this example here. Yeah? You see, this is your hours, yeah, and the hours is used here. It's used, whereas you overwrite it. You get that? You see how my Celsius here is used to calculate something, whereas you did something like this.
Now we have the minutes, and we need that function to return. So,
It should be x.
the variable that has the result that we have created. So, which one is that?
So what do you want to do with the hours to make them 2 minutes?
X.
It's the minutes, right? It's just a variable. We created it, we calculated it, and the minutes are the
What?
hours that we get. We want to return,
Okay. Now we have x, yeah, and where does x come from?
and then you need to call that function.
Because you have not created x yet. Yeah? So what we actually want to do is we want to use whatever comes in from here. Yeah? So you want to multiply 60 times hours. So instead of x, you write hours.
Inside there, we call the function.
So whatever comes into the function is multiplied by 60.
So we say hours and minutes.
Okay? And this you then you want to write it in a new variable.
Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
enter, that's the function.
So you have to make let space,
Parentheses.
yeah,
Before the index,
space. And what should your new variable be called?
get rid of those.
What is this calculating? 60 times hours. What are we calculating? Here we're calculating Fahrenheit from Celsius. What are you calculating here? Exactly. So what should that be? That's the name of your function. Yeah. But what is this variable called? So this function here, this little piece of code, converts hours to minutes. Yeah. Here you have hours. What is this?
It should be the same.
No. It should be something new.
So it's like that.
The function is taking hours to minutes. It takes hours in, multiplies hours by 60, and what value do we then have? Minutes,
But you have it here.
right?
So you can create two variables that are hours and minutes outside.
Yeah.
But then you
And this
call
is
that
minutes,
minutes.
M-I-N-T. So minutes. Perfect. And what should the function return? Exactly.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, but it should be
It should run
yeah.
Yes. Yes. And then we want to return, not rerun.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to close the squarey brackets. And now you can call it and put in any hour. So today we are running Hack Your Future for 4 hours. So what happens if you put 4 in here? Exactly, yeah. So now look at your code. What will happen here?
60 multiplied
Yes, it's here, and it will write in hours, and then you want to get it out. You want to print it. What do you do? Yes.
These are just like taking the value and putting it in. Let's try it. Just so you can have to, or you can also just reverse the page. But if
But
you can do
why we have to add it here? Like,
Yes, because it was calling the function. And you were asking us to calculate it.
It should
You were
be
not telling me how to calculate all the same function. Then work, you need to tell us what to do.
okay.
Whenever you calling the function,
Yeah.
or
it's telling you parameter.
Yeah, ours. But what is the function returning?
If you're not giving that ingredients, you don't make some.
What is the function returning?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I think
It's returning minutes, right?
it's
So this one, it works like this, but if someone reads this, it doesn't make sense. Convert hours to minutes and we get hours out. So let's try to call this just A for now. Yeah, this hours should just be. Exactly. And now you can console log A.
okay. So it's different, but it doesn't cancel out anything. So let's. No, that's okay. That's okay. So let's.
Do you understand your code now?
Yeah.
You understand?
but I'm really slow.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's a tedious process. Yeah, but try to run it and see what happens.
it didn't know because it capital N here and small n here. And then it knows some express. I just
I don't know how to do it here.
Okay. So, you know in which folder you are here?
And then just rerun the same thing.
It's like, let's see.
We're like here.
So now instead of saying
And where is this folder? You know where this folder is? Yeah, it's like this. So you can just go node, new. Oh. You do it.
Like that?
Yeah. Sure. It works. And if you go in here and you change this one to 12. Okay, can you work on yourself?
Yes, that's all.
In this case, I'm giving
Very good.
Just kind of table.
When you run this,
One given here, just do like the calculations.
what about this one? You know, the space here, actually, when you usually get a string with the last name from the database, it doesn't have this space. So try to remove the space here and put it somewhere in the function.
There's a function, I will do that. Then we have to just here, when we return, we just put a space here.
This class is very just used to try. In this case, you're using it inside, then just try to
remember to keep your variable names clean and without any result 1 or minutes 1. Always the thing that it
What
needs.
she's talking about, okay, A here, it's not good. It's exactly.
So I've just concatenated it within the string.
Yes, perfect. That's what I wanted. Then what else can you do?
And then here, you need to call the function to calculate it. You just ask for it to convert
Can I don't take it?
There's no
Like full name, full is with double L. It's just, you know, in minutes it's written differently. So it's just, you know, tiny things just to
Okay, that's it.
Just to
And now, now it's going to check this variable to print. There's no way to know. What you need to do is you need to tell it it's a function. Tell it it's a function.
Can you send me this instead? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Could you? You can also contact me.
On there, and the first one like
This one you usually have to do when you add it.
You can do it either just put it directly to a thing and you think, okay, 2
save. Can you delete this in quick? Yes.
And so what's going to do is
Can you send it to me in the personal message? Because otherwise everyone has to switch. Oh yeah. Fine. Sure. Just join, like, the questions are this. Okay. And like, just joining, people will just get to know you and like just like sneak in behind their shoulders, yeah? And you can like talk about later what you're doing. But I was just there. Yeah. So we have a potential new mentor here. So he's going to help you today. Guys. So
My name is Shanawaz. That's all for now.
Rasmus and Alicia.
Hi.
Yeah,
just
yeah. So you can call him to your shoulder to get some help.
let's start with by reading your problems.
So this one converts hours to minutes. That's what we want. In the first one, we want hours. So the first one is correct. It says divide hours and minutes into minutes. So right now you're just taking hours. You also want to figure out the minutes. Yes? You understand? So this function must have two inputs. Two inputs. You can see the sample of multiple inputs. What we want to have, 5 hours instead of 30 minutes.
Okay. First of all,
And it should now give us 5. It should now give us 5. It should now give us
yeah.
You can put names, right?
it should now give us
This
300.
number, for instance, I haven't actually joined the 24.
So you're not taking 2 parameters.
This thing I have to put minutes.
So you just have 1 hours.
Average hours.
So if you
Consider it as
convert it down, is it equal to work?
if you don't find that,
Because I have just, as you mentioned,
Function convert hours
And what should we do with those minutes?
minutes to second. So
As they are coming in,
and you're getting it seconds.
we'll still do the same.
First name.
But your function is saying convert hours and minutes to seconds. So apparently you need to send hours, and your function should be able to handle hours, minutes, and seconds as well. So what you're given, which is already in seconds, or calculated. But anyways, what are you doing with that? So you're getting seconds,
Information here.
but why, where are you getting these hours from? This is a variable, isn't it?
But here you should
there is a problem here. Think about the type now. Then you expect the user to make it only this case. So
what is
You will learn
designed
that
as
for
embedded
this one.
front end.
But for the time being,
To
make all the
functions
functions.
design.
Yeah, then the function.
Runtime, when you run the program and what's happening to the memory, which is not clear, which is not clear from the concept.
for this
Design plan, you make it clear that's the main program and has functions. Okay, those all come together in one screen. So here you write one function, for example,
That doesn't express any currency, but it's taking those somewhere from somewhere, but not giving it from where do you think
hours
Because it's going to definition after like said
as function.
it's taken from here like
What you are sending out
function should go up to the tick.
for
Yeah,
example,
exactly. So
is
this runs, right?
hour
And it returns. But it is because so the function
and what are you going to do with that?
This is
Just
variable.
return
This is variable.
in the
return
outside,
what?
but
Return hours should be
and
multiplied
the
by
whole is just
plus minutes, which is already happening.
check something. Up and check. There's also
When
a down.
when you have declared
There's
function like
if
this,
you think about it
before
up and
that,
down,
for example,
just think about it more like a
minutes is equal to
a sphere.
hours function.
if like I remove the definition
Convert hours
like
is minutes, and now you know it takes within two
Yeah,
arguments.
of course not. Because then it's not a
Two
string.
arguments
It's a
are, for
variable.
So
example,
you should take it as
for example, 1 hour.
Anything. Yeah, so
So this is like a
string of any type, but not anything, any type.
this and this are called the same thing. But if I
So
call
what I have done is
one
that minute
and
n will get the value whatever.
this
Okay, for example, you send it 1 hour and
one,
30 minutes.
will it work? No, no, right?
So
No, that it should work because now it's giving close. Yeah, here
you're
it
just
should
giving
work
it
because
one
then
argument. I'm
there's no
giving
way
it
for
characters.
it. Exactly. So
So
So we need to take
when it runs
but
and
if I
then
okay.
in runtime, if you go to the main, first this one, it will create two
But if I take it like this, will it
one
work?
variable which will be h
It's
and
no.
one variable will be
No, it should now because it's taking place there will be or not.
yeah, but like
when you call it.
it's like
Now this statement is what will it
But it doesn't, so the
One
function
will be
doesn't need to know about the name of any of
And
these
30 will
variables,
be
right?
here.
Taking no value. It just takes
Okay.
in
and now
something that you're
the
giving
function
it.
when you call
So
it,
even if
the control
if
is
you
transferred
do
to the function. And now it will calculate these two values. One
Okay.
is the one
First name, C is.
one times 60 is equal to 60 and minutes 30. Okay. It will add 30 and 60.
And it
And
doesn't
then
matter.
this finally will be returned where
The function only cares about what you're sending to it.
here.
So it can be in the
But
form
this
of
n and this n is totally different.
or whatever.
This n is the
But
variable
the
for
function doesn't know about the
this
names
memory
of the
card
variables.
So this one.
It should only care about variable
This is
sets.
easy for you to understand because we have given one name here and one same name here. Which is only
That's the rule.
for
That's
the
so now
function.
the only thing that you
And
need
this
to
name
do
is here, which is only for the main method. Correct? So that's, you can share the same name. So now here it is what? 90.
Yes,
And
but we don't want that because then far becomes global.
and now we'll take
Control
those
clock,
We just want to be far in that.
so it will print 90
Because now, if you run it now,
same
it will
as
give you an error.
now you
5 will be fine. Yeah. Why is not will be fine?
hours, this hours, where is it coming from? This is function. Okay? So you need to have
So, what happening is they changed this. So that it's
when
function.
you call, for example, hours, then you need to have
And also, this one is
get some value here as well. Okay? Put some hours.
And you can from Celsius to Fahrenheit. We're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so it's a little bit confusing. Yeah, and also he says far to shell,
Okay.
where we're going from cell to far.
Any other look at the sequence. If you are getting it seconds will come into seconds. One quick question.
Did you understand?
When we pass the variables in the function, name doesn't explain it. Data type doesn't explain it. The sequence, how do we assign that variable into this? Does it go with the sequence or so first variable will be assigned to the first variable? So now you this one is second is actually what you going to do?
Yeah, we give it 3 hours. And then it's going to work for 2 hours, 2 minutes, and then it's going to this will work 2 minutes, and then it's going to
So you get minutes,
and
and then you create
something big.
override.
So just hours, 2 minutes, and then adding minutes, and then 4 seconds, and then adding seconds.
Exactly. Use time in minutes.
Now we are out of the variables.
Is something like I said.
So now when you call this function, you know that you have to pass 3 values. First one will be hour, second one will be minute, second last one will be second. Okay. So now, for example, call this function. I just call left. Different keyboard. Just write left. Left seconds is equal to call this function now. No, call this function. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Function name. This one is now this function. This one convert hours, minutes to seconds.
I like the same one.
Yeah. Now you're calling it.
Here, you create a new variable. And you combine the import with the variable. So in here, we want to create a new variable.
What's your function name?
New variable.
What's your name? Yeah. If I call you Sabah, will you answer? No. So the function, when we call it, it has to be called by this name. Okay. Otherwise, it will not respond. So the function name is here. Convert. So we just that's a quick way, right? Okay. And now when we call the function, we need to put the brackets.
What is the discrimination?
Yeah. So now you see hours, minutes, and seconds. It's showing you how many parameters. So put for example 1 hour and comma and then 30 seconds. And then 30 minutes and 30 seconds. And now, what are we doing here? This should be multiplied with, to convert in minutes, it should be multiplied with 60. Those minutes. 60 and then again 60. And then plus minutes multiplied by 60. Now minutes multiplied by 60 will convert into seconds. And then what are you going to do with the seconds? Seconds are always in seconds already. So just plus seconds. Yeah, that's okay. You got it up there. And now you are returning seconds. Yeah. So now seconds will return and will be assigned here, and now you can mount seconds.
I will give it to you.
Yeah.
And console log.
Console log second naturally.
This should also return, right?
That's an anonymous. And it's an anonymous one because it's created without a name, right? Instead of variable, or it doesn't have a name. So if you go to parentheses or control C there. These words,
Yeah,
right?
just put in the original. That's easy. Put the codes in there.
This one
So if you don't put this message on, you will show only whatever the calculation is. But now it will show seconds is equal to. Got it? So this is the message. You can put seconds calculated.
assigning the exceptions here. This is the global. I can use it anywhere. Normally I write down that it's the very I can use it whatever I write down. I don't. This is yeah, that was
But if you do like let's do last week, and here you do
yeah.
Seconds. Yes, so here what we are doing one coming from the other side. So now so now it's
String 1, string 2, concount. Can you think of some better names for these
I
things?
think like how did you make yours with remember that you were just
Very general, but you want something like
Yeah, I remember.
welcome.
Sorry?
What is string 1?
You got the idea now? If you don't get the idea, you start the next function. Idea how to create functions, how to get the values in, how to calculate, how to write the formulas, and how to return it.
We write string because we want to make string.
No worries.
Well, it's good, it's good. You made it.
One statement, but I have every function is only one first. Every function is only one step. And then you can solve this out. I don't get any this. Call the function inside the call. Call the function inside the call. Call the function. Got it?
You didn't calculate it,
No.
but just write return as this one.
I'll just give it return.
Should I assign it?
He will show me
So now I just want to get it out. So it's going to log it somewhere. Yeah. So whether we put the logo like this or like this, that's undefined. Your later in the code will be this one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Are you understood this?
Are we saving? Are you saving?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You also understand? So how far is everyone? Can I have a little show of hands? Who finished all three? That's good. That's good. Who's somewhere in between at the second one? Shy hand, give me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, I just
To take a break, 10-minute break. 10-minute break, and then we wrap up some stuff, and then we go eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. What else did you do today?
Did this work?
No.
This standardized. If you go to the GitHub of this, as in your preparation, there was an